Hey guys, I want to talk about a recent news story that has been occurring on YouTube. I want to talk about Gary Garcia and what's gone on with him and his channel, Overboard Humor. If you don't know who he is, he has over 1 million subscribers and he gets hundreds of thousands of views every day, um, making videos where he kind of pranks or interviews hot girls on the beach, or at least he used to. So a lot has happened over the last 2 weeks. For the last 2 years now, we've known that he married one of his um, his girlfriend that he's been dating for a while, and uh, he had a kid with this girl. And now, what occurred in the last 2 weeks was crazy. So basically, there was some domestic abuse, and what ended up happening because of that was a restraining order was placed and they are now separated. On top of that, she admitted that she cheated on him during their marriage. This was a year into after the birth of their child, and this occurred during a phase when they were fighting a bit. And so she started talking and chatting with a guy and ended up having sex with this guy. Now, the crazy part, it gets even crazier. Um, Garrett has admitted all this through his vlogs and pretty much explained this all through numerous 20 to 30-minute vlogs. And he's also announced that he will not be doing many more of these kissing pranks and hot girl videos, at least for a while, because of what's going on. So he's resorted to these daily vlogs just talking about his situation, and it's pretty bad because he's now only getting 20,000 views per video, which is not sustainable because he says he makes a living off YouTube. So he set up a GoFundMe, which is basically a crowdfunding thing where you can donate to support what's occurring. Apparently, there's a bunch of lawsuits going on. Not lawsuits, but court filings. There's already a restraining order placed, but now they're kind of dividing the assets, and they will not be together because of the restraining order and other things going on, court proceedings. And so he says he needs help from his fans. So he made a whole 20-minute video saying he needs help, he needs money. And the thing is, on the GoFundMe, he actually says, well, I don't actually need your money, but it would be great if you can donate. So some people are saying, okay, should we donate? Should we not donate? A lot of people are donating, and his goal is $2,000, which it seems like he will hit, which I don't think is a big deal. I don't think it's that much money. Some people are going to, raise up the issue of, oh my goodness, first world class, first country YouTuber asking for donations when he's already making money off YouTube, when there's homeless people, starving children in Africa. But putting that aside, he is trying to get his handle on it. And in the video, he actually explains very succinctly that he really wants things going, and he knows he's very fortunate to have been raised in America and had his privileges. But if his fans want to help, by all means, he would appreciate it. And that's apparently what's been going on. So his recent videos aren't getting as many views, and it kind of speaks to how volatile YouTube can be. If you, for whatever reason, personal life or whatever else, you can't sustain that level of traffic because maybe you can't make the topics or trends that get a lot of views, all of a sudden you don't get that reliable income anymore. So that's one of those things where you kind of have to be a bit skeptical about YouTube as a full-time career. Now, this is something that should be obvious, but there are plenty of people who literally just survive off just YouTube, and it's barely sustainable, but they just jump into it full force. And that's not a strategy I think anyone should go for. At the max, think of someone like PewDiePie who gets hundreds of millions of views every month. That guy has made more money in a month than he can spend in a lifetime. So that's a level where you're kind of like, okay, I can make this a career. But on the flip side, if you're doing something else, it's very volatile, as explained with Overboard Humor. Now, the situation gets even worse. Turns out Garrett says that his girlfriend apparently doesn't work. She's a housewife, and he's been paying for his girlfriend's board and room and everything off apparently YouTube for the last few years. So it's kind of a strange situation. Some people are, bringing up the point, oh my goodness, this girlfriend who's not even that attractive has been trying to get this guy for his YouTube money and fame, and then get a child with this guy just to seal him down, and then now he goes off and cheats. Oh my goodness. Garrett has been saying in his vlogs, which he's been releasing daily, his whole situation. Apparently, it's gotten worse, then it's gotten better, and he said like he still has a lot of respect for his wife and says, I forgive this person. It's tough on me, and apparently he says he has had numerous anxiety attacks throughout his lifetime, and when this all occurred, he had a tremendous anxiety attack that took him to the hospital. Actually, he said he ended up saying in a later video that he went to the hospital himself. So apparently he pretty much started sweating and going numb so badly that he ended up going to the hospital because he didn't know what his body was doing. He says he's had these attacks as a child and throughout his life before, but this was his worst one. And so all that combined together led to what was going on. And he said he's actually in certain ways doing a lot of things that are in my eyes respectable, in the sense that he's not he has not gone crazy from all the overwhelm. He has put himself back together and said, I'm going to get through this. It's really, really tough. And having said that, I will still get through this. I'll try my best. And I'll keep my head up and do my best to get through this. I know there's tougher situations out there, which I think is very admirable, considering all that he's gone through. Now, here's my opinion on all this. I think it's one of those cases, and again, if you've been on YouTube for a while, this happens almost every year. There's dozens and dozens of cases of this, but I think one of the reasons why most people still fall into this is because people don't realize this. And every year there's floods, hundreds of thousands of new YouTubers who come on, who don't know any better, who are just ignorant, and they come on and they fall into a similar trap. And that trap is putting out too much of your public life, your personal life online. And that's, I think, what Garrett might be doing again. Again, he's putting it all out there. All of his daily videos, he's explaining all of it. And I think that's very unhealthy. He gets hundreds of thousands of comments and opinions from misguided young people who have their opinions and advice, many of which isn't good advice. And he's being bombarded with all this. And what ends up occurring is, you guessed it, it could end up affecting him mentally very unwell. And you see it almost every year. Some new vlogger talks about this and how it's completely affected his mental health and everything else. In fact, just last month, another big YouTuber, Bro Fresco, who is a gamer, he has over 1 million subscribers. He released a video called YouTube Money, and then a few other videos talking about how this is similar stuff has affected his health. And Bro Fresco, he barely went into he went into similar situations about anxiety attacks, and he hides his private life. So for Garrett to do something to go to that level, it could spell further problems, and that's another thing where it's kind of like you have to make money, you have to get views, but you don't want to express your private life, and it gets into this whole huge issue. And every year there's vloggers that experience this. In fact, Prank vs. Prank, they have over 10 million subscribers on all their channels combined, and they recently quit vlogging completely because of this, and they've done videos on this in the last 2 months. So it really kind of spells to the point of, if you're going to do YouTube, do it on a healthy state, and don't put in too much of your personal life if you don't feel like it. And you have to, not be too greedy sometimes, or do it to a point where it's healthy, and only do YouTube as a career if it's sustainable and you don't get overwhelmed. And Bro Fresco's talked about this himself. He says he did like daily videos for years and it burned him out. So there's more to the Overboard humor story, but those are the huge points. Again, you can check out his channel for future updates. And I think here's the biggest point. I've saved this for last because I wanted to keep my opinions to a minimum. But here's what I think. I think the biggest part that I want to talk about is this whole thing about cheating and that whole fiasco with gold diggers and relationships and so forth. It happens so often, and quite often, and it's one of those things I think most people don't think out. I think almost every year you have people who have cheated on them, especially in the Hollywood life. You have these incredibly successful people who seem to be successful in almost every area of their life. Fit, beautiful, wealthy, famous, and for whatever reason, their marriages barely last for a few months, and then on top of that, they end up cheating. And then you see it on YouTube as well, and I'm sure you know people in real life who are like this. And I think it really speaks to the point that most people don't really, they don't really assess who they choose to marry as much as they should. And I think that's a huge part, and I think you could get ahead by doing it. But even then, it's in certain ways very tough to really know for sure. And so that's a topic for another day. But there's a lot of good books and research and stuff on what to look for in a partner, so you know that they won't cheat when you get married. And I think most people never go there. And I think the final part is just that for him to go through so much stuff, it really takes a lot to do that. And I think it's inspirational in a way, and also it's something where it's like it's really a shocker to see all that has unveiled itself in the recent few weeks. Because before that, you looked at his channel, you saw his daily videos, and you're like, oh my goodness, this guy must be living the life. So peeking behind the curtain, it's just like, even this guy can have all these problems. Like, that just sucks. But he's getting through it, and it's a very interesting story. Thanks for watching.